Welcome to this webinar over Microsoft Word. To get us started real quick, Microsoft Word is a great tool to go to for writing letters, essays, documents, and so on and so forth. After opening the software, you'll find a variety of templates to choose from, as you can currently see on the screen. But we'll stick with a regular template to get us started. Simply select Word document and then choose, and this will open a new blank document. If you've selected from a different template, you can always go back and open another by going under File and selecting New from Template, and this will open the previous window. Or, for an alternative, go to one of the icons over at the top left corner of your screen to open the same options. Now that we've created a new template, we can begin exploring the variety of buttons within the document. If there are more options on this screen than what appears on yours, you can upgrade to the latest version of this software on a Mac device by going under Help, where you'll find the option to check for updates. This pop-up window should open, which will allow you to choose between manually or automatically checking for updates. If you select Automatically Check for Updates, you are given the options for daily, weekly, or monthly notifications. Or you can leave it as is and simply activate it to keep an eye out for updates to come. Now to move forward with our actual document, we can see from the few tabs above that there are many different buttons to choose from. All this does is give us the tools for adjusting our text, layout, formatting, and much more. Now, as we're typing, if you'd like to adjust the size of the page itself rather than the text, there is a bar located at the bottom right-hand corner of the document to zoom in or out. There's also the alternative of adjusting the percentage of the screen to be exact, as you can see right now. Now, the default tab that every document opens with is the Home tab. What this is the section where you can make some of the more basic adjustments to the text and formatting of the documents. This includes font style, size, color, bolding, italics, and highlighting, and positioning of the text, and so on. Because I've written them as a list, I can go ahead and highlight the following and add bullet points by clicking on the bullet point option button. The arrow beside the bullet point icon will open other styles you can place them with, or leave them as the standard go-to. If I'd like to add a title to go with this page, I'd highlight the word and position the text in the center. For this instance, this document's title will be Live Demo. While we're on the subject, you can also position the text to the right, center, or leave it as it is on the left side. Now that we've covered highlighting a portion of the text, we can try highlighting a portion of the document. For instance, I find the words too close together, so I would highlight the text and increase its spacing. Now that it appears more clear and spaced out, I can begin editing some of the text. To demonstrate font style, you've got plenty of options to choose from classic typewriter fonts to handwriting and so much more. To adjust the font size, highlight the part you'd like edited, whether it be a portion of the document or its entirety. The same goes for the rest of the following. Simply highlight and edit to your liking. Color is one of the more important things to look out for. Depending on what you're going for, it would be best to have the font colored darker. Bolding, to make the words stand out more. Italics, which is found beside the bold icon. And finally, there's highlighting. What I've done before highlighting the word is create an extra space to prevent the next line from automatically highlighting as well. Although we've only covered a small portion of the many options in this section, each icon is labeled with what it does. You can continue exploring the rest of the options by hovering your mouse over the rest of the icons. If I've made any mistakes while typing, they will either be corrected automatically, as you can see through this quick replay, or Word will mark the text with a red line for error. If I miss the error and continue typing, it will leave the word underlined and will have the correct spelling. If, on the off chance, it doesn't appear, there is a spelling and grammar status located at the bottom of the screen that will direct me to any errors detected. Now, after correcting the mistake, you can see the status is now marked green instead of red. Going further on making mistakes, I've deleted the previous sentence I typed in. If I need it back right away, these two arrows will undo anything we've done recently. Now, while we're on the subject of errors, It is greatly encouraged to save your file, especially if major edits are being made. This saves your work if your device accidentally shuts down, for example. What I'm demonstrating is going under File and choosing Save As. This pop-up window will allow you to title your document and save it to either your desktop, download section, or so on. It's best to save directly onto your desktop for quicker access, but you can also choose to save onto your downloads folder. For this instance, I've saved my document onto my desktop, which you will be able to see appear once I've chosen to save it. Now, after saving, Word will take note of every edit I've been making since I've saved the document. You can see by the dot appearing on the left-hand side, this indicates that new changes have been made. If you'd like to continue saving said edits, there is an icon you can click on to save as you're going, or you can go back under File and select Save. After doing so, the dot over the X is now gone, meaning it has been saved and no new changes have been made to the document you are viewing. Even the simplest change will be marked to make sure you are keeping track of the changes you're making on the file. If you'd like to insert something, for this we'll do an image. Head over to the right part of the same section under Insert. A good option to start off with is selecting Insert from File because it will open the majority of your folders. Once you've selected and inserted an image, you can adjust the size to your liking. As you can see on my screen, the software glitched as I was inserting the image, and to remove this line that appeared over my document, I selected and deleted the image. Then, as I press undo to bring the image back, you can see it appears normally. Now that we've got our image, we can go ahead and position it to however and wherever we'd like. Simply select the image on the document, and this will open a new tab named Format Picture. You can change the format of this section to experiment a little. If I don't like the color I've chosen per se, and can't find the original color, I'll simply undo the action. If you'd like to fix the position of your picture, head under the position icon and choose whichever icon you think would fit your idea best. Between the given options to either wrap the image around or between the text, I chose to wrap it around so it would appear like this. Now I'm simply messing around with the formatting and positioning of the text to align the two. Moving on to the Layout tab, this is where you can change the formatting of this virtual piece of paper, so to speak. Once again, to help guide you through what these buttons are and what they do, simply hover your mouse over each for their labels to appear. Here we have Orientation, which flips my page to either Portrait or Landscape mode. To show a quick example, I've switched to Landscape mode and fixed my spacing and zoom for a better view. Because we've previously formatted my document while we were in portrait mode, it wouldn't look identical or similar to how it was before, but you can always revert back to its previous orientation. What happened just now was a page break, which simply added an extra page without having to fill the previous one. You can see how many pages we've got so far. Now that we've gotten the chance to open another page, we can bring in some additional features. One is the watermark feature. The watermark feature is also under the Layout tab. Once you've clicked on it, another pop-up window will open that will show you either your desktop, downloads, or other files. I've selected a photo I have located in my desktop folder. Once you've chosen, you'll be back to the pop-up window with a preview of how your watermark will appear. Now you can edit the scale to however you'd like it to show up in your document. In this case, my watermark was formatted to the lower portion of the screen, but the transparency was enough for my document to still stand out. If you were to write some more, you'll find that it will still go over your watermark, but you can always go back to the watermark icon to replace the image. And there's that. Now on to our next tab, Scanned Documents. As you can see, we can put in a page cover for our document. To demonstrate, I'll go ahead and choose a random cover page and see what I can edit. With the cover page added, the one we originally started with, and the page break, we've now got a total of 3 pages open. We can see that this tab also has the option to page break, as well as the other options of adding columns and so on. For exploring some of the other tabs, there is Table, which is often used to organize information. So to demonstrate, I'll add a 3x2 table, a date and time of an event. Any of the following is up to you. If you like to bold the title, for example, or italicize, the same goes for each. Just simply highlight the word and go back to the Home tab to find the basic formatting options we went over. But as you can see, after selecting the table, we've opened a new tab labeled Table Layout. This will be a good reminder that any image, column, or anything along the lines that you have inserted will most likely open a new tab to format that item alone. Now to move on to charts, the first icon on the list to see is adding columns. To demonstrate, if you'd like to add a column, this will open Excel on Mac, and any changes made on this chart will also be made automatically on our Word document. For example, we have the 4 categories appearing on both with the same results. If we go back to Excel and edit these numbers to whole numbers, for example, you'll find the same changes were made on our Word documents chart. We have the 5, 6, and 3. Once we're done with finalizing our information, we can go ahead and make a quick note of it if you'd like and delete later. This is just to prove nothing has been deleted or altered after closing the Excel window. Now all I'm doing is making sure I've got my pages intact. Everything I've added and edited is how I've left it. I can even see my extra page from the previous page break. Word provides the page count as well as the word count of the document. We can see we've got a total of 4 pages at the moment. There is also the grammar status as mentioned earlier. If it's opened with a green check mark, it will just let me know there's nothing to edit for the time being. I'll readjust the size of my document for another demonstration of editing our cover page. For this instance, I've titled the cover page Microsoft Word, but as you can see, the document itself is still titled Live Demo. So instead, I'll mark our subtitle as Live Demo followed by our name. If I'm trying to resize the subtitle to appear bigger than the name, I'll head back to the Home tab, highlight the text, and adjust its font size. Now all that's happening is I'm scrolling through the document, reviewing every change made. Now, rather than saving the changes to the previous document, I'll be resaving the document as a new one to demonstrate where we can locate the Downloads folder, if you'd like to choose Download over Desktop. Here I've renamed the document to know what we're searching for. Once you've closed your window, you can head back to the document you've saved by going to Finder, which is the icon found on the bottom left corner of your desktop. Simply head to Downloads and you'll find the document saved. If you'd like to print the document after reviewing and saving it, select File and Print. This pop-up window will open, providing a preview of the document. You can search through the settings with the preview. If you're printing with color, the preview is how it would appear. If you're editing the color before printing, you're reducing saturation. There's also the option to print the document in mirror black and white. Since my document has multiple pages, I'm given the option to specify which pages I want printed. For instance, I can range my pages between 1 and 2 to only print the first 2 pages. Now I can only preview the first 2 pages because that's what I've selected. Now, if I select all 4 pages will reappear in preview. Whether you left the printing settings with their automatic options or have manually selected your own, you can go ahead and select Print. Before closing up, I am simply looking back on what I've done throughout the demonstration. Once again, it is important to be saving your document when starting a new document, or even making some last minute changes as I'm currently doing now, because it will prevent the possibility of the file being erased. Thanks again.